This is Josh Widdicombe on XFM on Saturday morning. We are back. We had a week off, producer Neil, but it feels like a lifetime.
Yeah, it is.
You're struggling with your microphone there. You've got a kind of droopy microphone. Wait, he's turned his microphone. What a start. We have a week off. Neil.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Good. We've obviously very exciting developments in this week off.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're slightly nervous, aren't you?
Petrified.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't want to start with a big announcement, but it sounds like we're getting married. That we are XFM. We are doing our XFM podcast show, radio show, whatever you want to call it.
This show,
the Josh Widdicombe show. Is that what it is? It called the Josh Widdicombe show?
Yes. How many times?
Yeah, no. I just thought we could have come up with something more snappier by now. Widders on XFM.
No.
Okay. Well, I'll just try my best, mate. Trying to push the envelope. Have you ever pushed the envelope?
It's not the time or the place to discuss that.
I didn't mean it like that, but if that's how you're taking it, oh my word. Now, none of that will be featuring on our XFM Live show in Edinburgh this year.
Yeah.
Excited?
Very. Nervously.
Tickets are on sale. Basically, what we're doing, we are transporting this show to the live arena. And by arena, I mean 250-seat theatre. And so 4 nights we are doing. The 9th, 10th, 11th and
12th.
Correct. And we'll have all the usual guests, plus Nish will be on every night. James Acast will be there every night. Matthew Crosby will be back on every night. It's going to be so exciting. The tickets are on sale on... Neil will tweet the link, I imagine.
Yeah, xfm.co.uk, but I'll tweet a direct link via Twitter at XFM.
Yeah, and Neil's terrified that it'll be full and it'll be an intimidated audience, and I'm more terrified that it won't be full. So please do buy tickets. On that subject, one more exciting development was I recorded a QI this week, and Stephen Fry said that he listened to the show.
Wow.
So up your game, mate.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, a few more facts.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
We think churches, the brand new music on XFM. This is Josh Widdicombe on Saturday morning. Producer Neil paid churches the ultimate compliment, didn't you? During the song, you said, if there were still Shine albums, they would be on it. I mean, if they don't put that quote on the poster.
I think they'd be on disc 1 as well.
Do you think they'd be on disc 1?
Yeah.
Blimey. I mean, I'm as much a fan of churches as the next man, but that's some claim. They wouldn't open disc 1. I mentioned even if Shine was still going, disc 1 would still open with Oasis, even though they're not a functioning unit anymore.
Very true.
Very true.
For anyone who doesn't know what Shine albums are, they were
take a long hard look in the mirror because you've wasted your life.
They were the indie versions of the Now albums.
Yeah. And their demise really cuts hard. That and MVC. Right, now, we move on. Is there any other business at this point in the morning, which is... it's the reader's right to reply. We've opened our doors to your complaints or queries or comments. The more pedantic, the better. If we like them, then Neil will uphold the complaint by using... which note is it this week?
It's A6. It's my blue bell.
There you go. And our bells were supplied by...
Bell Percussion.
Bell Percussion. Thank you very much. If you send stuff in, you'll get plugged mercilessly. Number one, by the way, if you do hear another laugh in the studio this morning, unlikely, I know, but we have an intern now, Charles, and my tea is piping hot. It's, A6 for that, please. There we go. Right. Hi, Josh. Just wanted to let you know, in podcast episode 59, you said Das Kooks. However, because kooks is a plural, you should have said D-Kooks. D-I-E. Yours pedantically, Taj from in Ireland. Well, I only did German to a SATS level.
I did GCSE, and this rings true for me.
Well, so let's dissect a bit more, Neil. You will let anything in these days. I mean, Nigel Farage would certainly say that about the country. Am I right? So, But no Farage talk on here. Oh, you said we can now, can't we?
I think we can, but we don't need to.
We don't need to. Stop giving the oxygen of publicity.
Exactly.
Or oxygen. Now, what we are saying, obviously D Kooks, yeah, that is correct. I only did it to a SATS level. We did make a, I remember when we got to the SATS level, I did make a kind of presentation on what German I could speak that was then put in my National Record of Achievement folder. Did you have a National Record of Achievement folder?
Yes, I think so.
It's kind of a kind of red leather folder that you would never ever take to a job interview if you wanted to get the job.
Unless you wanted to be an estate agent.
Unless you wanted to be an estate agent. There's nothing wrong with that. Although...
No, more because it looked like the...
Oh, right, okay. I thought you were mocking estate agents.
No.
And I wouldn't normally, but I'm trying to buy a house at the moment. They're really grinding my gears. D Kooks, D-I-E. So it does look like they've said Die Kooks here.
Well, D-I-E is the in German, so it'd be the Kooks.
Yeah, the Kooks, yeah. Okay, we're going to let it go. It's like Die, Bart, Die. That's what Sideshow Bob's got.
Tattooed on him.
Yeah, and he says it means the Bart's thee. Obviously Die Kooks is not what we're saying here.
No, not.
I don't care how pedestrian your indie is. I don't wish that on anyone. Now, dear Josh and producer Neil, in podcast episode 61, whilst in conversation with Ivo Graham, lovely man, Josh strongly implied that selling confectionery items labelled not to be sold separately is illegal. Now, this is a common misconception. It is not illegal to split multi-packs as long as the product is labelled and priced clearly by the vendor. Best wishes, love the show. Sam, open brackets, Ewell, close brackets, Hall. I don't know why he's done that. I don't know why Sam Hall... He's that pedantic that he needs to give his full name, but be clear we should call him Sam Hall. I didn't know this.
I didn't either, but I
have internet researched it since we got this.
Okay.
And he's correct.
Is he?
Also, I found out that the price on the packet, if it says like 69p on the packet, that's not... You don't have to.
No, it's recommended retail.
It's a recommended retail price, yeah. So there you go. Also, did you know when they misprice something and you say, well, you've got to sell it for me for that?
They don't.
That's not true either.
Okay.
Learning. That's where Stephen Fry loves the show. Dear Josh, in episode 60 of the podcast, I think he's listened to it once, by the way. I don't think he's a... Text in, mate. On episode 60 of the podcast at 6:50, 6 minutes 50, producer Neil unwittingly brings a tear to the listener's eye when he gushes forth about his filial love and adoration for his father. Have we got a sad music track that you could put on?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
This, you know. On episode 60 of the podcast at 6:50, producer Neil unwittingly brings a tear to the listeners at your ear. When he gushes forth about the filial love and his adoration for his father. Sadly, at 6:55, stop the music. That tear evaporates upon cheeks, burning with shame when he commits this unforgivable sin. My dad is my muse and my hero, he says, because of the way he brought us up. Oh, Neil, you really do keep the listener on an emotional roller coaster. Bought, not brought, is the point they are making. Charlie Carroll. He's ended it by just saying, out. I don't even know what that means. But are you going to uphold... You weren't purchased by your father.
Not as far as I'm aware. But
No.
It's the kind of thing that I probably would do, so...
3 out of 3. If you have any other business... xfm.co.uk or just email them to Neil. I'm sure he's got a personal email address somewhere.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
New York morning, Elbow, Josh Widdicombe. Saturday morning, it is XFM. And we come at 10:30 and 54 seconds to today's text topics. Is that bang on how you scheduled it, Neil?
Yeah.
Brilliant. 2 topics today we want to talk about. Now we have a show debutant. We have a lot of debutants recently. Mm-hmm. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just spreading our wings. Nathaniel Metcalfe is here. He's in the building, in fact. He will be on after 11. He's a comedian. Now, last week I talked about him when I was covering on the weekday breakfast show. I talked about how there was a man who lived near him who looked a lot like Alan Davis, and how he'd become obsessed with him. And we've since received correspondence from that man. Shall we go in? I think we should go into this when Nathaniel is here.
Okay.
Yeah, but he sees him every morning, basically, this man. And there are certain local characters, you see. That's what I think everyone's got these local characters. When I was growing up, there's various local characters. There was a tramp that lived in the middle of the A38. I don't know if you're aware of the A38, the Devon Expressway, as it has been renamed. And he used to live between the lanes on the kind of wider central reservation. A bit like the guy that lives at, the farm that is still in the middle of the M62?
Yep.
Well, apparently, that's a kind of myth that he said, I'm not moving. Oh. There's one for next week's Any Other Business. Or Stephen Fry. But we also had a man with a very long beard who used to just walk along the country lanes called Barry the Beard. And did you have anyone?
There's a guy in Moseley, so I'm from Birmingham, kind of grew up in Birmingham, and yeah, he was called Pete the Thief.
Can we sample that bit where you say I'm from Birmingham? Just for every time. What we want to do, intern Charles, is just cut that bit out, and then every time Neil claims to be Scottish, you just play it in.
No, Charles. No, there's a guy in Moseley called Pete the Feet.
Pete the Feet?
Pete the Feet, because he never wears shoes, no matter what weather type. So you know all that snow we had? He was barefoot.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So you knew where he'd been, because he was the only person that left barefooted footprints. Also, there's a kind of side topic on this, which is, when you see someone who works in your local shop, but you see them in the street, and you're like, why do I know that? Suddenly they look really weird. Who is that person? Oh, he works in my local takeaway. And there's a guy in London as well who wears, have you seen this guy who wears a kind of wire pyramid on his head? So it's like a kind of thin wire, and then it's a square at the bottom going up 4 wires into a pyramid that he wears as a kind of hat. And if you Google him, there's discussion groups about spottings of him. Apparently, it's to aid concentration and memory.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, you need one because you don't remember seeing him. So what we're looking for is your local characters that are in your area. And the other topic is this week I was in Newtown on tour, Newtown in Wales, and they had a W.H. Smith's. So it's like an old style. Their W.H. Smith's is still how it was in the 20s, not stock-wise. But if when you're like, I wonder what it'd be like buying a magazine in the 20s. Well, now you know. W.H. Smith's in Newtown. Still Panini stickers, albums in the window though.
But did they have self-service?
Yeah, I didn't get to go in because it was closed. But I was just looking through the window with my hands up against the window, and I didn't check if they've got self-service. Why is that your sign of modern day?
Well, yeah, because, they wouldn't have that in the 1920s, would they?
No. I had a self-service nightmare the other day. This happened to Ivo Graham, who's been on the show as well. If you buy stickers, self-service, Panini stickers, they're too light for it to acknowledge that you put them in the bagging area, so you have to get someone to come over. It's a really embarrassing moment. What we're looking for is your niche museums you've been to. I've also recently I didn't go in, but I did go past a pencil museum. So, pencil that one in your diaries, eh?
No.
Okay. Is that your new catchphrase?
Yeah.
No. Josh Widdicombe. Podcast. XFM.
We are talking on 2 subjects. My headphones are a bit loose, Neil. They almost came off my head then. That would have been
Have them further forward.
That would have been 250 quid off It'll Be Alright on the Night. We've got CCTV, haven't we?
Yep, just there.
Hello. Good radio. Look, watch and learn, intern Charles. Watch and learn. Now, Diego Allen Kennedy, great name. I presume that's a reference to Diego. Presumably he's not called Diego Allen Kennedy.
I don't know.
Alan Kennedy, of course, played for Liverpool, won the European Cup. Diego Maradona. I mean, there's great football trivia in Diego Allen Kennedy. He's replied on both, which is always something that we like. He has. We're talking 1 about local characters in your area, 2 about niche museums you've been to. He's from Liverpool, so that Alan Kennedy reference is probably just a reference to the Liverpool player. Let's just make that clear. Tony Beep Beep in Liverpool. He'd stand in traffic getting cars to beep at him. Now, I wonder, if you just stand in traffic, cars are going to beep at you anyway. You don't actually need to be proactive.
Maybe did the whole kind of trucker thing, he pulls down.
Oh, I love the trucker thing. It's nothing better. Do you remember when you were a kid and you'd like did this happen? You'd lean backwards out your car. No, that's wrong. You'd look out the back window of your car while you're driving, and you'd kind of open and close your hands to get people to flash their lights at you.
Oh, you weren't crying for help?
No. No. I thought, no. So did people do that?
Occasionally, yeah.
Yeah.
Or just waving at people.
But now modern day they wouldn't do that. They'd be too busy playing with their Tamagotchis, I imagine. Or whatever. Yeah?
Yeah.
Listening to their Discmans. The other one, Diego Allen Cundy's gone for, Neon Museum in Las Vegas. A graveyard for all old hotel signs and lights. Well worth a visit. That sounds good. That
does sound good.
Yeah. My issue with this niche museum topic is I really want to go to most of these. I like neon.
There's an XFM one in the cupboard that we could donate.
Is there?
Yeah, packaging might be a bit much, but...
Yeah, well, let's appeal. If you want to send our XFM sign to Las Vegas, then just give your money to charity, actually. It's more worth it.
Josh Widdicombe podcast. XFM.
Now, we come to the point in the morning which Neil has named...
Nishipedia.
And good morning, Nish.
Good morning, or is it? This week's one, Josh, is a somewhat convoluted premise, but I think
that's what we've become used to.
I think this might be the most convoluted one yet. Jar lids are made super tight.
Jar lids.
Yeah.
I thought jar lids. I was going to say, who are jar lids?
Jar lids, yeah.
The jar lids? Are they controlling the media?
Yeah. Jar lids are made super tight so that women attempt to open them. They can't. They have to ask a man to open them, which they will, brackets 98.9% of the time. The point of this is to keep the patriarchy in place.
Yes!
Jar lids are tools of the patriarchy.
Wow.
So the idea being that every company that makes jars is making them slightly too tight for a woman's arms.
Amazing.
Well, I mean, there's a couple of problems I have with this.
I can't open jars.
Yeah, exactly. That's problem number one. Not all men are capable of opening jar lids.
But then I'm not someone that's trying to dominate women.
Yeah.
I can't open jars. Can you open jars?
No, I can't open jars. But then I think
Neil, you own a shed. Can you open jars?
Yeah, you own a shed and have reproduced, Neil.
Occasionally, but no, there are some jars that stump me.
Baby food jars. Oh, have you not gone to that yet?
I can't. Well, it comes in little pouches these days.
Oh, are they?
They come in pouches.
Little screw top, and then you just squeeze it out.
And are you capable of opening the screw tops?
Yes, I am.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
What about paracetamol jars?
I don't think. I think this was it's specifically
the clicky ones.
I don't think. I think the clicky ones are fine. The clicky ones are fine.
Are they not a little tough for women's minds? I don't mean that myself. I mean that would be their theory.
But here's a problem, because I don't think I've ever successfully opened a jar that a woman wasn't able to open. But then in evolutionary terms, in the ancient world, I would have been a human sacrifice. So yeah. I don't think I'm of much use going forward. And secondly, even if a woman can't open a jar lid, I don't think it undermines that. I don't think if Angela Merkel couldn't open a jar, people would be like, you should be removed from your job.
I'm not going to say... I mean, Angela Merkel can definitely open jars.
Yeah, she could definitely open jars. By
looking at it. And then, do you know what? She'd probably have to open a jar for the Greeks who couldn't do it, so she'd have to do it for them.
Well,
there we go. Bit of topical humour.
Not only was that political, it was also slightly xenophobic.
I don't know. I mean, no, that was a joke about how the
No, it was. Yeah. It was good. Save that for Mock the Week, Josh.
Hey, guys. Dara, mate. No, I know we're talking about that, but... you know, if Angela Merkel could open a jar, I think she'd do it for the Greeks.
So, yeah.
I might do that on What the Week. Jara O'Brien. That's what I'd say. That's how I'd get into it.
Would you push his head, see if it clicked?
Andy Jarsons.
So anyway, sorry, what was the conspiracy?
Jam jars and tools of the patriarchy decide to oppress women.
So is there any evidence?
Absolutely none, Josh.
So over to you now.
Apart from, I think what I'm assuming is a fake post by somebody who claims to work for a prominent salsa company.
Is it going in? There's no evidence again. So, no.
2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
Failed.
I'm striking out.
Bring evidence next time.
Yeah, next time I'm bringing evidence.
Josh Widdicombe podcast. XFM.
The White Stripes, the hardest button to button. Josh Widdicombe, this is Saturday morning. This is XFM. Still producer Neil is here.
Good morning.
Charles the intern.
Morning.
No talking, Charles.
No talking, Charles. And Neil runs a tight ship. You're enjoying the hierarchy, aren't you?
No.
All right. We'll see. And now joined by debutante,
Yes.
comedian,
Yeah.
Nathaniel Metcalfe. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Excellent comedian. Your show last year in Edinburgh, widely described by me as one of the top 5 shows I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
And I am a man who likes hyperbole, but I'm sticking by it. And now, what would you normally be doing at this time in the morning?
I reckon on this time I'd probably be having a boiled egg.
Really?
Yeah. On a
Soldiers?
Saturday. Soldiers, absolutely.
Yeah.
A couple.
Salt?
Yeah, salt, absolutely. Yeah, I'd have that. 2 eggs. 2 eggs. I'd try and get the.
Is there a kind of squeaking sound, or is that just in my headphones?
It's to do with headphones, don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Work through it.
All right, I was just checking. You have 2 eggs?
I'll get the extra large eggs. The
Oh, yeah, free range.
XL free range. And,
I'd hope so. Otherwise, you'd be out on your ear.
There's always a chance of a double yoker as well with extra large.
Very exciting.
It is.
And you'd be watching TV?
No, not really. I'd
Sitting
probably.
in silence.
It's
Well,
usually-
listening to the radio, maybe.
Listen to us, I hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, your show one of the. I mean, obviously, you've got a connection to the show already. We should start at the beginning of the story. Your show this year, I saw it in preview at the beginning of May. It was very funny. It's based around. Do you want to tell us what it's based around?
Well, it's kind of based around me having moved in with my girlfriend in Gypsy Hill and then seeing a man I initially mistook for being Alan Davis and thinking that he lives near me. And
Doesn't.
it turned
He
out
lives in Highbury.
He lives in Highbury. It's not him.
Yeah.
And then I tried to figure out who this man was. Well, I didn't try and figure it out. I just made up different reasons about who he could possibly be.
And then you did some research online.
Well, one of the things I noticed is I did a thing where I imagined he might be a professional Alan Davis impersonator. But when I...
You think that's going to be a... I'm as big a fan of Alan Davis as the next one. I think he's excellent, but I don't know how many Alan Davisograms are booked.
Well, I found out that there was although there isn't an Alan Davis impersonator that I could find, I did find one man who was called Alan Davis, but who was an impersonator of one of the main characters from the TV show Shameless, which is a far niche lookalike.
Wow! So he'd make money as the main guy, David Threlfall.
Yeah, David Threlfall he was.
Yeah.
But whatever his character's called, he was. So you could hire a lookalike of a man who looks like a fictional character.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
But then Matt Ford, who we've had on the show, used to make money as an Alan Partridge impersonator.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh. So there you go. Anyway, so we're getting into a murky world here of.
But if you when you put in Alan Davis lookalike, one of the people that came up was the person who lives near me.
Really? As a tweet, wasn't it?
It was a tweet, yeah.
Yeah, so a girl had a photo taken with him, and then she kind of sold you down the river. This is my favourite. Because she tweeted you. You tweeted her. On my side, I said you've got to tweet her.
You told me to.
Yeah. So you tweeted her, and then she tweeted you back, copying him in.
Yeah.
And then, as if it wasn't bad, did he...
This all happened within about 24 hours of each other.
And then I mentioned it on the radio.
Yeah.
And we got the following email. Hi, Josh. Re the mysterious Alan Davis alike in Gypsy Hill. I believe I am he. I travel from there every day and am frequently mistaken for the curly-haired, super handsome TV funny man. Check the first pic that appears on the Google search Alan Davis lookalike. Best David Rotham. So there you go. So have you got in touch with him?
I've been in touch since, yeah, I've been in touch.
Have you? What's happened?
He's a
Does he think you're weird?
I'd imagine he would. Like, my email to him was very much like, this is going to be odd. It's very difficult to email someone you don't know and go, hi, I've written an hour-long Edinburgh show about you. You don't know me, but I've been watching you.
So what did he say? What did you write?
I basically wrote that and said, this is going to sound weird, but I'm doing this. And he just seems very cool about everything.
Does it? So are you going to meet up?
Well, yeah, I guess. I'm sure I'll bump into him.
Does he know what you look like?
I don't know. Not unless he's Googled me. It depends how curious he is.
Yeah, I mean, he's been copied into the Twitter. So if you are listening, David Rotham, join us. I'm excited to see where it goes. Would you like to meet him, or would it be?
Oh, well, it's got to be weird, isn't it? But I'm sure it's fine. He seems like a very nice man.
How much would you talk to him about Alan Davis? Because I have questions for you, David Rotherham. Why have you still got your hair like Alan Davis? Because I wouldn't... Like, if I looked a lot like someone, I wouldn't... Also, in the photo with that girl, I can't remember her name. We should give her a shout-out. He is wearing what looks like a duffel coat. Come on, mate, have a day off.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Still joined by Nathaniel Metcalfe.
Hello.
Hello. Now, we are talking about two topics today. One is Nish museums. Now, earlier on I mentioned the Keswick Pencil Museum. You've been?
I have been.
What was it?
Well...
Why?
Well, I think it's because my family are from Cumbria, so it's a local museum, a local attraction. They have a graphite mine there.
Oh, is that why they've got it?
Yeah, I imagine so.
If that's not one of the rides.
Yeah. You can get all the...
So what happens at the Keswick Pencil Museum?
Oh, you can get all the H's. All of them.
Do you? The whole range?
Whole range.
From 2H to... Can you get a B?
You get HB, and then you get the 2B, 3B.
Oh wow,
that's hard and soft. You know, B is the midpoint.
So what does what does B stand for?
No idea. I mean,
surely that comes up at the museum, doesn't it?
Yeah, one of the few gift shops that doesn't sell robbers. Don't have them there.
So what do they say? What do you see?
It's just it's virtually just a shop, really, and different types. It's basically about the history of
the pencil.
I'm getting bored saying it. And at what point they stopped using toxic materials, and
when was that?
I think it's about 1984 or something.
Well, it's good that, the miners' strike and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just picked up something really loud then. I don't know, I started fiddling, and I fiddled with the loudest rapper of all time. Yeah. That's the loudest thing I've ever done on the radio. So people at home, their radios are feeding back. They're going, what is that? It's fruit and nuts. That's what it is.
It's a Foley artist. You're trying to give the impression that we're walking through some woods.
Yes,
or having a conversation.
Oh, what a lovely woodland. We've also we've had various ones on the Pencil Museum. On the museum, sorry. The Cursed in Balham, Sewing Machine Museum in Tooting. That can't be one, really, can it? All looking for a nice crafternoon out.
Oh, good pun.
Good pun.
Yeah.
This one, from Rich and Layla heading to Devon, open brackets, Kingsbridge, for your information, Josh, close brackets. Fair enough. We've all got to enjoy the bank holiday somehow. We went to a bee museum in Cornwall that was part of the Woodlands Adventure Park. You'd be surprised how long you can watch a bee behind the safety of a glass screen. I reckon 5 minutes.
I'd be lost for hours.
Would you?
Yeah, well, I've had 20 minutes watching one from outside the window, so I could imagine it's...
Yeah. We're currently talking of watching people through a glass screen.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we're not using the extra intern, but what have we got intern Charles doing at the moment, Neil?
Oh, outside our studio window, there's a queue for a ticket office, and we've got him timing how long one person is waiting in the queue for. What are they at the moment, Charles?
They've reached the booth. 28 minutes.
28 minutes.
What a way to spend your bank holiday.
What a way to... Who's the bigger loser, her or us? That's the question.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Josh Widdicombe, still joined by Nathaniel Metcalfe.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And now joined by Sara Pascoe.
Hey, hello.
Hello. Back in Britain.
Back in Britain.
Is this an exclusive? Is this your reunion?
This is a big announcement. I'm back.
You're back.
And everyone's like, who are you? And we didn't notice you were gone.
It's like the Beatles.
Yeah.
Oh, they're back in the country.
But the Beatles before they were the Beatles, just when they went on holiday once. Before they formed a band.
So have you had a good time?
I've had an interesting time. I thought everyone really goes on about New Zealand being a really great place and really loving it, and I wasn't into it. I like London. I like London. I think I kept being very suspicious of people in New Zealand. They offer you their umbrella, and you're like, I don't even know you. That's a murderer's trick. What are you doing?
I agree. I'm not. People go, it's great. It's great when people talk to each other. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know that.
We had someone come around to our house yesterday to fix the boiler, and I was having a panic attack in the kitchen, going, "Go and offer him a cup of tea," and just practicing the words. Just talking to a stranger is hard.
Did you manage it?
Yeah, I did.
I don't like that. When I feel like I'm in the way in my own house.
Yeah, exactly. You feel, and I wanted to eat something before he's going to think, why is she eating soup? I'm here. And then I'm going to have to offer him some soup.
Don't offer him soup.
No, I didn't. I just waited. I was really hungry. I suddenly wanted a bath as well. I thought, I can't just have a bath and there's a strange man in the house.
That would look like a come on.
Yeah.
I'll be in the bath.
The door's not locked, so just...
Are you comfortable around people in your house?
No, not at all.
I have a thing where the gas... You know when the gas person comes round?
Yeah. Just to check the meter?
I never know where the meter is, but I will never admit that.
Oh,
Instead,
so you pretend you've lost it.
I know where the meter is, then we'll kind of walk around the house.
It's probably think you don't live there, you're a robber or something going, just behind, that's the bedroom. It's got a lot of lights, isn't it? Yeah.
It looks like I'm just showing off my house trim.
Yeah.
Come on in. I bet you're quite good with workmen, aren't you, Neil?
I don't mind, yeah. Just come in. You're performing a task for me, so thanks.
Oh, you treat them like a servant?
No, but yeah.
Come in and perform your task for me and then leave.
I'm good. Hey, but how different is it with taxi drivers? Because taxi drivers, especially if I've had a drink, I'm like, I got a new best friend. I'm going to sit in the front and have an amazing...
You don't sit in the front?
Yeah, and then...
but not of a black cab.
No, they don't let you. I've made that mistake before. Only suitcases are allowed in the front.
What you do is you get your friend to get in and then you get in the suitcase and then you pop out.
That's a great plan.
I'm here.
And I pop out and go, hey, had a good day? What time did you start this morning? Any thoughts on the Polish?
I wasn't planning on talking about this, but it's genuinely one of the funnest conversations we've ever had on the radio. So, what would you normally be doing at this? Are you still on New Zealand time?
I'm getting up very early. It's amazing how much work you can get done. I'm getting up at 6:30, and I wish I always got up at 6:30. It's by 9, I'm finished, and you just watch a movie. It's really good.
You said movie, like you'd never, like you were from the 50s, and you'd never heard of one.
No, I don't really watch movies.
You're taking a movie at the drive-in.
That's what cool people do.
We'll play a song. We've got 2 topics today as well. Well, I'll brief you on them during the song.
Yeah, right then.
Yeah, deal?
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
The Charlatans, how high? Is that how it's... There's no question mark. Charlatans, how high? How would you pronounce it, Neil?
Charlatans, how high?
How high? Well, fair enough. Professional to the last. Nathaniel Metcalfe.
Hello.
Sara Pascoe.
Hello.
Now, the 2 topics we're talking about today are... Well, number one, this is because of Nathaniel is having some dealings with not having some dealings, that's the wrong phrase, has got embroiled in a kind of saga with a local man who looks exactly like Alan Davis.
What? Do you live near Alan Davies?
No.
Okay, so you check
I
that
live there.
first.
Yeah.
But he's he talked about it. Now he talked about it in his show. Then I talked about it on the radio, and then the guy was listening. So the guy is now friends with him.
Yeah, we're friends, pals. He seems really nice. He seems like a really cool guy.
Did he already know he looked like Alan Davies?
I think he must have.
He's gone for his life.
He comes up top when you Google Alan Davis lookalike. But anyway. I don't know whether you want to say that what you said off air to me was that you'd offered to introduce him to Alan Davis.
Oh yeah, well I was saying it might be a thing I could do. Would that be something you'd be interested in?
So, I mean, that's quite a big offer.
What did he say?
I think he was a bit like, no. But he also said that I always expect I will do someday anyway.
Yeah, but
like fate.
But it is an odd offer. Like if someone came up to you and went, "Oh, I know someone who looks like you." I'll probably get you to meet him one day. You think, I'll just look in the mirror if I want to look at somebody who looks like me.
Someone came up to me last night, and I've just remembered this as well. And refused to accept that I wasn't Ed Sheeran.
Oh, okay.
Which after a while you can't argue anymore. Get out your driving license.
You just have to become Ed Sheeran.
Yeah. But we were talking about if there's any local characters. Have you got any local characters that you kind of see all the time?
Kind of characters, because I live in Lewisham, and so it is a really colourful and brilliant, vibrant area. So there are characters, but there's a thin line between character, hey, eccentric, we see you outside the Wetherspoons, and probably should be looking after better by social services. Yeah. You only wear a bath towel on the high street.
We receive loads. What I like about we've received loads. My favourite thing is quite a lot of them end up. He's dead now. Yeah.
There is a man, it's a young guy, and I love it because Marks and Spencer's in Lewisham, and usually Marks and Spencer's are kind of very strict in their staffing policies, so it's very good customer service, but all of the guys there live in Lewisham and they rap and stuff.
They rap?
Yeah, so it's really, the shop is really well stocked. And
not just when you're buying a present.
There we go.
Thank you.
That's a very urban joke.
If you went into a shop and they said, do you want this wrap?
This sandwich costs $19.99.
Is this what your sketch show would be like?
Free wrapping?
And then there'd be a chicken wrap. Where a chicken is like...
Do you want a sandwich or a wrap?
Yeah.
Well, I like music, but I like food.
The man starved to death because he always chose wraps.
Anyway, the other thing we're talking about is niche museums that you've been to.
Well, I like this because I used to do bus tour guiding in London, so I knew quite a lot of the very small museums, like the Whiskey Museum and the Tea and Coffee Museum, which is closed down now. But in Melbourne, as I say, I've been there, and they've got a museum, and I know Australia is really new, so they don't have a lot of history, but in the Melbourne Museum, in the main hall, there is a model of the old Melbourne Museum, and the cake from when Charlene got married. No! That's it, in the main bit of the museum, like, welcome to Australia!
Wow, that's amazing.
It's not Charlene's cake,
Did you go to Ramsay Street?
No, I didn't. But people couldn't believe that you didn't go. Like, but why?
No, I can't. Turn her mic down. Have you been?
I've never been to Australia.
Oh,
or New Zealand.
It's a long way to go just to go to Ramsay
Street.
I had a friend who was obsessed with neighbours. Have I talked about this before, Neil? Stop me if I have. Friend who started a Neighbours Appreciation Society at Nottingham University. And he once introduced me to Tadfish, that's all I'm saying.
It's Toadfish, mate.
No, it's
Tadfish
not.
was Toadfish's brother.
Really?
Yeah.
Who was Stonefish?
Another one of the fishes.
Another one of the fish
fishes.
Or another one of the school.
A couple of them were out in Melbourne, the fish people.
Were they?
Patton Oswalt, he was Toadfish. Was he?
No. Ryan Maloney was Toadfish.
Okay, Toadfish was in Melbourne.
Have we done this before that I can...
You know all the names.
If you name me a character of Neighbours in the mid-90s, I can tell you the actor.
Really? All of them?
Mostly, about 80%. Hit me.
Do you remember Danny? What was her name?
I don't remember Danny. Yeah, I know the character. That was before the night. That was the early 90s.
Sorry.
Okay.
Do you want the full Kennedy count?
Yeah, I was going to say the Kennedys, because didn't one of the daughters end up going out with her actor dad?
Kim Valentine. Played Libby Kennedy.
Yeah.
Billy Kennedy, Jesse Spencer, and then the parents, Jackie Woodburn and Alan Fletcher.
That's such a...
Should we play a song?
Yeah.
I think we should write a pub quiz just for you.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Josh Widdicombe, still joined by Nathaniel Metcalfe.
Hello.
Sarah Pascoe.
Hello.
Local characters, Sarah.
Right, okay, so he isn't local normally, but about...
Well, it depends where he is.
Yeah. Right, he moves around. 8 weeks ago, our buzzer goes, and
Is this in
Lewisham?
Yeah.
And then and it's a woman, and she says, "Hello, I'm a researcher. I've got Jason Donovan here. We're doing a hidden camera show, and we want someone to answer the door to him so he can do a prank." And it's a pilot, and then the guy downstairs, he says,
Is Jason Donovan the new Jeremy Beadle?
Yeah, he might be. And then,
Was this the prank?
this is the prank. Jason Donovan's not here, you idiot. You got out of bed. Well, anyway, so the guy downstairs...
phoned your agent?
Yeah, I said, see what you can get for me. I'm not getting out my pyjamas for less than a tracker bar. So the guy downstairs, he was on the same kind of extension, and he said, "Oh no, I'll come and do it. I work in the music industry as well." So me and my boyfriend John, we were like making real fun of him afterwards, like, "Oh, I work in the music industry," because he's got like a recording bit in his house.
Yeah.
But anyway, we then went away, and this guy downstairs, he had to look after our keys, and a day later, John was looking for him on Twitter, this guy who lives downstairs, and he found out that his name on Twitter was Jonathan Keys, and he went, "That's weird that he's put Keys in his Twitter just because he's looking after our keys." And then he saw that he had 300,000 Twitter followers.
Whoa.
And John reminded me, when he's won that thing, like, he's not only lame, like saying, "Oh, I'll talk to Jason Donovan," he's bought Twitter followers. Yeah, right? So I searched him on the internet, I search engined him, and he's the piano player for One Direction.
No!
Yeah.
Wow!
And he likes their songs.
Wow!
So we were like making fun of him. "Oh yeah, I work in the music industry."
That's amazing.
Yeah, isn't it?
But wouldn't it be a weird prank then for Jason Donovan to turn up at One Direction?
Yeah.
But he's not one of One Direction, is he?
Oh,
No, but
He's the piano player.
He's recorded
Oh,
their
okay.
songs and he does do concerts with them and stuff, but he's not in it yet.
right.
What a life.
No, but we've got to watch that pilot.
Yeah, that's going to be
We were
amazing.
looking up Jason Donovan and what we found out about him. So we're like, what has he been doing? He's been supporting a Kylie Minogue tribute act.
Whoa! Oh, no.
No.
No, that's,
Especially for you.
that's amazing. Wow.
Isn't it?
That's mind-blowing.
But that's what was weird about it. So if I was been 9 and I'd found out one day Jason Donovan will come to your house.
Oh, my word.
I'd be like, okay, just speed
I'm
on
just gonna
time,
sit and
get
wait.
through it. Yeah, just I'm not going to go to school. I don't need to. And then actually, 20 years later, no, 23 years later, I can't bother to go downstairs.
That's, it's also a grim look into how hidden camera shows work, isn't it?
yeah.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
A couple of things to clear up before we move on. Number one, someone has corrected me that Tad Reeves in Neighbours was short for tadpole, not tadfish.
Ah, tadpole.
Yeah. And also, someone's asked to name the actress that played Anne Kennedy, the girlfriend of Billy Kennedy, Brooke Satchwell. We'll just put that to rest.
Can I
Now-
just say that he didn't look that up?
Yeah, I was
he
going to
just,
say that.
he
I was
just
going to
knew it.
confirm that
Yeah,
it was...
I just knew it. I think I'm right. If I'm wrong, what are you going to do?
Just correct you again.
Still joined by Sara Pascoe and Nathaniel Metcalfe. Now it is time for Neil Aid. Now, you'll have missed this huge news story since you've been out of the country.
Yeah.
But what has happened is Neil, as a father, feels that he can't justify to himself spending money on the Panini 2014 World Cup sticker album.
What?
Yeah, because
What
he feels
example are you to the children?
She's not old enough to take anything like that in yet.
But one day, when that's in a glass case in the hallway...
Well, good news.
Still got the podcast.
Because what we've done is we've set up Neil Aid, in which people can donate their swaps
Oh, brilliant.
to Neil. How are you doing?
Very well, and I've just realised rudely I've left this week's contributions downstairs, so I can give you a shout
We'll read them out at the end of the show. But how you're about how far are you?
I reckon I've got about 190 to go.
So you've got over 400 stickers in your book.
Yeah, very thankful.
And best of all, this is from David. Dear Josh and producer Neil, I had a bit of time to kill last night, so thought I'd create a mock radio advert for Neil Aid. It's a bit naff, but I'm sure you'll have a laugh at it. How about a new Josh versus Neil competition, which you each have to try and get the best celebrity endorsement for Neil Aid each week? Brilliant idea. That is in motion. All the best and keep up the good work, David. Shall we listen to his
Get
advert?
Jason Donovan to do it.
Oh. If you could do that, double points.
Could you sort anyone from One Direction, do you think?
Okay, well, I can get the keyboard player.
I wonder if he ever plays the keytar.
Oh.
Yeah, well, there's something to investigate. Right, anyway.
Right, yeah.
Do you want to hear the Neil Aid advert?
Yes, please.
Here it is.
Every 3 seconds, Neil Fern worries. Every 3 seconds, Neil Fern despairs. Every 3 seconds, Neil Fern begins to give up all hope of ever completing the Panini FIFA World Cup 2014 sticker album. As a father, Neil can no longer afford to fund his sticker addiction. But Neil doesn't have to suffer alone. You can make Neil's dreams a reality. All we ask is if you can send just one swap that will help take him one step closer to living that dream. Please send any swaps you can to Neil Aid, XFM, Leicester Square, WC2H, 7LA. By donating now, you can make a real difference. Neil Aid. We're sticking together. Please note, Neil Aid is not a registered charity.
That is brilliant.
It is.
Crying. I'm so moved.
I hope that really sees a move forward in the stickers. Now, I'm aware that neither of you are football fans.
No.
No, that's fine.
I was going to pretend then, but then all I can talk about is the 1997 Manchester United squad, because I was a football fan for a year.
Is that
You
your
wanna talk
cast of neighbours?
Yeah, so if you're going to talk about the Lee Sharp goal celebration, I'm all over it.
Well, you're in luck.
Eric
'cause that's
Cantona's
all.
poetry.
Would you consider him a good poet?
No, but a good man. But a very
Which
good
is
man.
more important.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were. I haven't got the album up here. We'll do it in the next.
Yeah.
Because we think each guest we're going to use a Neil sticker album, You can use Neil's to grab, and we're going to choose you a team for the World Cup.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Which you can support. And then throughout the World Cup, we are going to refer to the teams that we choose for our guests only by the name of our guests.
Yeah. Oh, good.
So we will do that in a bit.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
This is Josh Widdicombe, back on a Saturday morning, and we have come to the end of the show. It's been genuinely great to be back, hasn't it, Neil?
Yeah, it has.
It has, genuinely. Thank you both for coming in, Nathaniel.
Thank you for having
Sarah.
me.
Thank you for having us.
Now, before you go, I'm going to pick your World Cup team.
Yeah.
So the World Cup starts on the 12th of June. I want you to, if you give me a number of a sticker, listen to that. Live page turn on XFM. Wait, I want a number between 32 and...
33. I want to have 33 because it was my birthday yesterday. Or the day before, and I was 33.
Ah, okay, you've gone for
My new
33.
age.
Nathaniel?
Could I have 487?
Okay, so Sarah, I mean, you're going to be... You've got the Brazil team group. I mean, that is a great one to get.
I'm going to win the World Cup.
Yes. You maybe. And you, Nathaniel?
487.
487. 4, 5, 6, 7. You're Nigeria.
Nigeria. Am I going to win the World Cup?
No. But your player is Emmanuel Emenike.
Oh, yeah.
So that's your player to follow as well.
Okay.
If I win, do I get to keep the player? Is that the price?
Yes, yes,
To
that
keep
is
them.
correct.
Who's Sarah's player?
She's just got the full team group. That's how... Look, that. That's the full team group.
Yeah,
It's a team
look, I've got
picture.
all of
Team
them.
picture.
Yeah,
Okay,
I get to
that's
keep
unfair
all
then,
the
isn't it?
players. Yeah.
How much she likes Brazil. Now,
If we compete, there's only one man versus the whole of the Brazil team.
yeah.
That's unfair.
And your
That's the
man's not
final.
even going to be as good. Nathaniel Metcalfe versus Sara Pascoe. Right. Now, just a plug before we go. We are doing XFM. We are doing this show live in front of an audience with all the regulars, James Acaster, Nish Kumar, Matthew Crosby, etc. Producer Neil, who's terrified because he's never been in front of an audience before in his life. It is on from the 9th to the 12th of August at 10:30 in the Assembly Rooms in Edinburgh. Please do come along. We'll have special guests. It's going to be ramshackle but fun.
Yeah. That will
Okay.
be.
Nathaniel,
I'm doing a show in Edinburgh at Cabaret.
talking about the Alan Davis lookalike.
Talking about the Alan Davis lookalike, amongst other things. It's not it. It's not just it. It's not enough, is it?
Is that going to be your surprise
This isn't
ending?
it.
That he comes out on stage and everyone's like, oh, he does Davies.
I wear a mask at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing that between the 2nd and the 23rd, 2:35.
Where?
Cabaret Voltaire. I don't expect people to remember, but I'll be about.
We'll tweet a link to it.
We'll tweet a link to it.
Good.
It's a lovely venue, Cabaret Voltaire.
Yeah,
isn't it?
really good. Really good. And your Twitter?
Oh, at Nat Metcalfe.
There we go. Sarah.
I'll be in Edinburgh for the entire festival as well at the Assembly Room. But I'm also next weekend, I'm doing my show at Soho Theatre, my last show, so I know that one. So I know that one's all right, so maybe come to that one.
There we go. What time?
9:15.
9:15. Thursday, Friday, Saturday next week.
So
And we will
so-
tweet links to all of that.
Thank
Twitter?
you. Yeah, at Sara Pascoe. And I've got a website that someone made for me.
Oh!
At Sara Pascoe. No, not at Sara Pascoe. SaraPascoe.com. A man, I scanned it into the computer and he made it a website.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Did you know
What
he was
age we
making-
live in.
He did it. Well, he saw I did it as a joke on Twitter and he made it a website. Yeah, it's amazing.
There you go. We'll tweet that as well. We'll tweet everything. We
Thanks,
can do that
guys.
now.
We'll tweet the internet.
Thank
We've
you.
got an intern. It's amazing. Thank you very much, Neil. Anything you want to plug?
No, just the Edinburgh show.
Okay, consider it done.